ലൈറ്റ് നയിച്ചു സ്വാമിജി. ഈ ലൈറ്റിൻ്റെ ആവശ്യമില്ലല്ലോ.
Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Yesterday we were reading the verses in chapter 11 where Lord Krishna showed to Arjuna in his infinite mercy his real form containing everything in the manifestation at the same time, and that was beyond everything. Sri Krishna was so compassionate to Arjuna that it was a special case on his part to show his real form to any devotee. Though Arjuna was given divine sight, he could not really stand that aghast vision. He was terrified to see what was going on. We read yesterday some of those that he saw. Again, we continue reading some more before we read the commentary. He saw everything in Sri Krishna. He also saw all the sons of the Dhritarashtra with hosts of beings on the earth, Bhishma, Drona and Karna with the warrior chiefs of ours. That is sloka 26. 26. He saw all the warriors on the other side of the army in Sri Krishna's form, Sri Krishna's body. Enter hurrying into your mouth, terrible with the tusks and fearful to look at. Some are found sticking to the gaps between the teeth with their heads crushed to powder. All those who were there in the opposite side of the army were rushing into the form of Sri Krishna and getting crushed.
പിന്നെ പൈസ കൊടുക്കലേ സ്വാമി മാരേജ് കാരനൊക്കെ തണ്ണി അടിച്ചിട്ട്
മറ്റേ ആരായി കൊണ്ടുവച്ചു. Arjuna also saw, truly as the many torrents of rivers rush towards the ocean, so do these heroes in the world of men fling themselves into your fiercely flaming mouth. All these were rushing into the mouths of Sri Krishna. So Sri Krishna, Arjuna was seeing in the body of Sri Krishna creation, preservation and destruction going on at the same time. That was too much for him to face and look at. As the moths rush headlong into the blazing fire, for destruction, so do these creatures hurriedly speed into your mouth for their destruction. So this was what he witnessed in the universal vision. So the creation, preservation and destruction going on at the same time. Though we see a part of the creation every minute in our life, we see only a small part and therefore we are not affected by what is going on. Though at times something horrible happens, we are shocked. But all these things seen at the same time, happening in the same place, all the universe condensed as it were in the vision of Arjuna, terrified him. Now having seen all this, he started, he waited for some time and Sri Krishna then told him, I am the mighty world-destroying time and engaged in wiping out the world. Even without you, the warriors arrayed in hostile armies shall not live. He is assuring Arjuna that I am the time that consumes everything. Don't think that by killing or by fighting in this war, you are killing your enemies. Know that I am responsible for destroying them. You are only an instrument in my hands to do the killing. So don't take upon you the responsibility of killing them. I am the one who does that. So he shows to Arjuna, all these are happening. I am the time. I have come here to destroy everything that I want to. I am going to wipe out the entire world. Even without you, the warriors arrayed in the hostile armies shall not live. This is to make Arjuna show that he is only an instrument in the hands of God. He is only doing whatever the Lord makes him do. You therefore arise and obtain fame. Now, by your engaging in the war and killing your enemies, you are only gaining the name and fame for winning the war. Whereas I am the real person who is doing the killing. Conquer the enemies and enjoy the unrivaled kingdom. By me have they been verily slain already. You be merely an outward cause. That's what he is assuring him. You are not incurring any sin by killing them. I am the one who is responsible for killing all this. Here the commentator says, the Lord's work does not depend on the agency of man for its fulfillment. The Lord's work does not depend upon the agency of man for its fulfillment. Precisely and effectively, it takes place of its own accord. Man but earns merit by participating in it, by rising equal to an occasion, and by discharging his duty, man emerges the better for it. By availing himself of the opportunity and facilities providentially provided in the training ground of this world, man builds his personality. And that is his gain in being a willing instrument in the hands of the Lord. Again shows man is only an instrument in the hands of God. It is God who makes him do it. We have only to become fit instruments by surrendering ourselves entirely in the hands of God. Again, a question arises here. A doubt may arise in the mind of Arjuna whether the vision that he has had just now was not a self-created illusion. When we see something, we take it as a vision of the Lord. The Lord is asking us to do something and blessing us. After the vision is over, a doubt may arise in our mind that we saw the Lord talking to me. Was it really the Lord himself who came and talked to me, or is it my own illusion? The doubt arises. Like that, it is possible that Arjuna had also such a doubt. The Lord relieves him of this apprehension as follows. Slay Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna and other brave warriors who are already doomed by me. Be not distressed with fear. Fight and you will conquer your enemies in battle. Now again he urges him to fight. Forget the vision now and you go and fight. I have already told you what is going to happen, and to assure you that you are only an instrument in my hands. He encourages him to fight. Drona, Bhishma and Jayadratha. Drona and Bhishma are his acharyas, teachers. Jayadratha, Karna are on the opposite side, heroes fighting the battle against him. It has been already made clear that the killing of Drona and Bhishma is not contrary to Dharma. Arjuna had a doubt whether he was going against Dharma in killing his own teachers, Drona and Bhishma. Now, the Lord has made it clear to him. It has been already made clear that the killing of Drona and Bhishma is not contrary to Dharma. The next question is whether they can be killed at all. For Drona is endowed with weapons divine, and Bhishma is one whom death cannot approach without his own permission. Nobody has so far succeeded in defeating him. Yet another problem is in regard to Jayadratha. These are enemies standing before him who are not easy to be killed. Nobody has so far succeeded. By hard penance, the Jayadratha had acquired the power to make the head of that man burst who succeeded in slaughtering his son. The enemies who are standing before him are not ordinary heroes. They got divine powers. As regards Drona, he has got divine weapons, so it's not easy to kill him with arrows. He may attack the enemy at any time and finish him off. And Bhishma is one who has also divine powers, and he has got boons that he can be killed only at a time appointed by him. Svecha Marana, they call it. He can choose his own time for his end. And the other, Jayadratha, was a king. He had some powers, or his father had obtained a boon that anybody who killed Jayadratha and made his head fall on the ground, the killer's head itself will burst into pieces. That is the boon Jayadratha's father had obtained. So to kill these people is not an ordinary joke. And again, the next one was Karna. Fourthly, vanquishing Karna is equally problematic. He is armed with Shakti, a deadly weapon bestowed upon him by Indra, Lord Indra. There is no escape for that man against whom this weapon is used. Karna keeps this weapon to make vengeance on Arjuna. Karna had this weapon and he had decided to use it only against Arjuna. To be hesitant with fear is but natural to one in Arjuna's plight. So, knowing all this, there is no wonder why Arjuna was hesitating to fight against these warriors. But one thing was not considered. Sri Krishna was on their side and he could do anything. All these problems were solved by Sri Krishna in a very mysterious way that we find in the book Mahabharata. How mysteriously, how wonderfully, how tactfully Sri Krishna managed to make Arjuna kill all these warriors. There again it comes here with that idea. When God is with us, who is against us? When God is with us, when Sri Krishna himself is with the Pandava army, who can defeat them? When God is not with us, who is for us? That is where Duryodhana made the wrong choice. He wanted the army of Lord Krishna, whereas Arjuna wanted Lord Krishna alone. When Lord Krishna was with them, he knew victory was sure for them. This maxim is worth pondering over and to be pursued in life. God is here with Arjuna. What can his powerful enemies do against him? When the Lord is there protecting Arjuna as his charioteer, what can the enemy do against him? What can this powerful enemy do against him? The Lord has willed to have them destroyed. Their prowess is already withdrawn from them. The enemy has become powerless. They are now like pictures which can be easily brushed aside. Arjuna has only to function just as an arrow at the hands of an archer. The Lord will have his work done through his agency. This, the glory of a great conquest, will be his as a reward for his agency. This point is driven home in mind of Partha. That is why Lord Krishna assured him, I have already killed them, you only be an instrument in my hands and get all the fame for winning the war. Now, having heard this, Arjuna starts praising the Lord. Before that, Sanjaya says what about Arjuna. Sanjaya said, having heard that speech of Lord Krishna, the crowned one, that is Arjuna, with joined palms, trembling, prostrating himself again, addressed Krishna in a choked voice, bowing down, overwhelmed with fear. Arjuna said, "It is meet, O Krishna, that the world is delighted and rejoices in your praise. Rakshasas fly in fear in all directions, and all the hosts of Sittas bow to you." And why should they not, O great souled one, bow to you greater than the primal cause, even of Brahma, O infinite being, O Lord of gods, abode of the universe? You are the imperishable, the being, you are the imperishable, the being and non-being, that which is the supreme. That he praises the Lord in his own beautiful way. You are the primal God, the ancient Purusha. You are the supreme abode of all this. You are the knower of the noble and the supreme abode. This universe is pervaded by you, O being of infinite form. You are the primal God, the ancient Purusha. You are the supreme abode of all this. You are the knower and the noble and the supreme abode. This universe is pervaded by you. You are Vayu, Yama, Agni, Varuna, the moon, Prajapati, and the great grandfather. Salutations, salutations to you 1,000 times, and again, salutations to you. This is how he concludes his praise. Salutations to you before, salutations to you behind, salutations to you on every side. When he sees the Lord, he sees no front or back. He sees him everywhere alike. He cannot say he is facing on one side. He saw him with any number of faces, any number of heads, any number of mouths. So he could not say in which direction he should prostrate. He prostrates in all directions. Salutations to you before, salutations to you behind, salutations to you on every side. O all infinite in might and immeasurable in strength, you pervade all, and therefore you are all. Now with this universal vision, Arjuna has known what real Krishna is. Till then, he looked upon him as his cousin and friend and one who could help him in all situations. He did not recognize him as a divine at all. Now that Arjuna has known Sri Krishna in his true perspective, does he revise his relationship? It comes in his own words. Whatever I have rashly said from carelessness or lore, addressing you as O Krishna, O Yadava, O friend, looking on you merely as a friend, ignorant of this your greatness. He begs pardon of what he had done so far. In whatever way I may have insulted you for just while at play, reposing, sitting, or at meals, when you alone, O Achyuta, or in company, that I implore you, immeasurable one, to forgive. Because he treated him merely as a friend. Now he begs pardon. You are the father of this world, moving and unmoving. You are to be adored by this world. You, the greatest Guru, none there exists who is equal to you in the three worlds, Who then can excel you, O being of unequaled power? Now he understands his glory. You are the Father of this world, moving and unmoving. You are to be adored by this world. You, the greatest Guru, none there exists. Who is equal to you in the three worlds? Who then can excel you, O being of unequaled power? Therefore, bowing down, prostrating my body, I implore you, adorable Lord, to forgive me. Bear with me, O Lord, as a father with a son, as a friend with a friend, as a lover with his beloved. I rejoice that I have seen what was never seen before. I rejoice that I have seen what was never seen before, but my mind is confounded with fear. He has not got over that fear yet. Show me that form only, O God. Have mercy, of God of gods, of the abode of the universe. I rejoice that I have seen what was never seen before, but my mind is confounded with fear. Show me that form only, O God. Have mercy, O God of gods, O abode of universe. He was not wishing to see that universal form anymore. Again he pleads, I desire to see you as before, crowned, bearing maize and a discus in the hand, in your former form, only having 4 arms, O 1,000-armed, O universal form. He wants to see his original form. He did not want to see his real universal form. In answer, the Lord says, graciously have I shown you, O Arjuna, the supreme form of my yoga power, this resplendent, universal, infinite, primeval, which none but you has ever seen. In my infinite mercy, I have shown you this my real form. Neither by the study of the Vedas, nor by yajnas, nor by gifts, nor by rituals, nor by severe penances can this form of mine be seen in the world of men by anyone else but you, O hero of the Kurus. What a special grace on Arjuna. Nobody else by any way can see this form. You specially got my grace and I showed you this form. That was his answer. Neither by by study of the Vedas, nor by yajnas, nor by gifts, nor by rituals, nor by severe penances can this form of mine be seen in this world of men. So I was so gracious to you that I showed you this form. Be not afraid nor bewildered on seeing this terrific form of mine. Free from fear and delighted at heart, do you again see this my former form? Having spoken this to Arjuna, Vasudeva, Lord Krishna, showed again his own form, and the great souled one, assuming his gentle form, consoled him who was terrified. Arjuna was consoled. Krishna's original form was shown to him. Arjuna now addressed Krishna, having seen this your gentle human form, O Krishna, now composed, and I am restored to my own nature. No more fear. So it is easy to say, I want to have the vision of God. When we see the Lord in any particular form we have been meditating upon, it will be present to us. We will be very happy. But when we see His universal form, we will not be able to stand it. The Blessed Lord said, very hard it is indeed to see this form of mine which you have seen. Even the Devas are very eager to see this form. I don't show this form to anybody. Even Devas who are anxious to see this form are denied. But by unswerving devotion can I of this form be known and seen in reality and also entered into. But by unswerving devotion can I of this form be known and seen in reality and also entered into. This needs further explanation. Commentator says, Ananya Bhakti, that is one-pointed devotion. Ananya Bhakti is unswerving devotion. In this state, the sadhaka recognizes nothing but Ishvara. He makes over his entire being to the Lord. All that he contacts through the senses and the intellect is he. Whatever he does is the Lord's activity. From the way in which the subordinates and attendants conduct themselves in a palace, the presence of the king in it can be inferred. One should not be satisfied with that inference. Seeing the king in person is superior to believing in his presence. There is a state greater than seeing the sovereign. Contact and communion with him is what is wanted. Ananya Bhakti takes the devotee through all of these stages in his pursuit of the Lord. He feels first the presence of the divine. He gets the vision of the Lord next, then moves intimately with him until unison is reached. Unswerving devotion provides all these possibilities. Only by unswerving devotion, one-pointed devotion to the Lord, can make him experience His presence and finally merge in His eternal being. Again, Sri Ramakrishna's opinion on this subject. Many have heard of milk. Those who have seen it are lesser in number. Many have heard of milk. Those who have seen it are lesser in number. The partakers of milk are lesser still. Even such is the contact of man with God. Many have heard of God. Many have thought of God. And we can say those who have experienced God are very few. The partakers of milk are lesser still. Even such is the contact of man with God. So very few are those who have real contact with God. A talk arose whether man can see God with his physical eyes. No, he cannot be perceived with fleshy eyes. When bhakti is practiced, the sadhaka develops a superior sense organ which has the power to see and hear super mundane things. With the spiritual eye, God is beheld and the devotee is commingled with him. So one needs a special eye, divine eye. In other words, as he is pure consciousness, we can be conscious of his presence. He who does work for me, who looks on me as the Supreme, who is devoted to me, who is free from attachment, who is without hatred for any being, he comes to me, O Pandava, addressed to Arjuna, O Arjuna. He who does work for me, he who dedicates all his activities to me, who looks on me as the Supreme, who considers as the highest thing to attain, who is devoted to me, who has one-pointed devotion to me, who is free from attachment, who is free from attachment to worldly things, who is without hatred for any being, he comes to me, O Arjuna. That is the concluding verse of the 11th chapter. Now we can go through our beloved Papa's commentary on chapter 11. The other book. The other one. You would like to have the book with you? Chapter 11. Chapter 11, the Vision Universal. Till this chapter, the teachings given to Arjuna were to give him the knowledge of God and prepare him for the final experience. In other words, he was taught theory so far. Now he gets practical lesson in chapter 11. Now the mind of Arjuna is fully illumined with the knowledge of the Atman and prepared for the world vision. Here, hence, Arjuna prays to the Supreme Lord of the Universe to grant him the vision of the Lord as the omnipotent cosmic spirit. This Arjuna prays for the real form, to see the real form of Lord Krishna. The vision that is demanded is of the highest import and sublimity. For this supreme vision, the Lord, through His infinite grace, endows Arjuna with a divine sight. An ordinary eye cannot behold this vision. So divine eyes were necessary and they were granted to Arjuna. The description that follows this vision relates to all creatures, beings, gods, things, objects and existences in the entire universe. For Arjuna now, the whole manifestation stands transformed as one gigantic body of the Lord. Seeing this vision, Arjuna saw that everything in the universe, which he saw as different entities before, are now seen as belonging to one body of Lord Krishna. That is, he saw the unity in diversity. Now we see each thing separately, the tree is separate, the building is separate, the men and women are separate. All these are seen as different parts of the body of Lord Krishna. For Arjuna now the whole manifestation stands transformed as one gigantic body of the Lord. He beholds everywhere and in everything the Lord himself manifests. He sees everything as a manifestation of the Lord himself. Every form appears as an emanation from him, the divine source of all forms. Every form appears as an emanation from him, the divine source of all forms. He sees Lord Krishna as the source of all forms, and all forms appear to him as coming out from Lord Krishna himself. The one Lord is seen revealed as the multitudinous creatures and things in the universe. The one Lord is seen revealed as the multitudinous creatures and things in the universe. He sees only everything as coming out from the Lord, everything as different organs or different parts of Lord Krishna. By a clear perception, the one divine energy is observed, having taken shapes and causing all movements and changes therein. By a clear perception, because our vision is not proper now, we are only able to see things as separate from each other, having no connection between one and the other. Whereas a divine vision, a purified vision, makes us understand that everything is connected in one supreme, all-pervading existence. And all these names and forms are only projections from that existence. So, purified vision Arjuna got only by Lord Krishna's grace. One eternal life principle has brought forth the countless lives. One eternal life principle has brought forth the countless lives. All these things that are moving, men, animals, all these trees and all these things are brought out only from that one existence, which is the source of all these. In the infinite unmanifest, the worlds and their creatures appear and dissolve, having a period of evolution and a period of dissolution. In the infinite unmanifest, we cannot even think of that infinite unmanifest, vacant space, infinite existence. From that all these names and forms emerge. They stay for some time and merge back again into that infinite existence. This is the process of creation, preservation and destruction. He beholds all creatures and beings driven to perform varied activities by the irresistible power of the Lord. One who is able to watch this can find out all those different forms, beings and creatures that are come forth from the infinite existence, are driven to do various activities by the power of the Supreme Being. It means there is absolutely no individual power for these beings and creatures. Though they may appear to be separate individuals, they have no individuality. They may assume individuality, but really they have no individuality. They are driven to do things according to the will of that Supreme Being. He beholds all creatures and beings driven to perform varied activities. They are driven to perform varied activities, means they have no will of their own. It is the power of that Supreme Being that makes them act. The Lord is seen moving the cosmic wheel of His omnipotent energy for bringing about momentous changes in the life of the worlds. The Lord is seen moving the cosmic wheel of His omnipotent energy. That is, by His power, which is working everywhere, makes everything, all names and forms active. All the gods of the different spheres and all the forms of power that work for good or evil are subject to the supreme will of the Lord. Anything that is good, anything that good that is happening or anything bad that is happening is all happening by the will of that supreme power only. The vision of Arjuna becomes as pure and comprehensive that in his sight all forms are seen as the forms of the Lord, all heads as His heads, all eyes as His eyes, every part of every body as a member of the Lord's divine form. Here the Arjuna's purified vision makes him see that anything that was before him was part of the Lord's universal body. Wherever he looks, up or below, right or left, in front or at back, he sees nothing but the Lord. Lord alone is everywhere. The example is, nearest example is of the tree that has innumerable branches, leaves, buds and flowers and fruits. If we look at them, individually we can say each fruit or each leaf has its individuality. But in totality, if we look at the things from a distance, we see the entire tree as one unit and all the leaves, flowers and fruits are all different parts of the same tree. Like that, Arjuna could see the entire universe resting on the Lord Himself, being different parts of the Lord's universal body. So anything that he saw was belonging to the Lord's universal body only. We'll stop here today. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. That is the universal vision. All our blessed saints and sages have experienced and have been experiencing every moment in their life. So you can imagine the bliss they have been able to enjoy. Unimaginable. Om Shri Ram.